They're alive! And they're hot. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to Frankenbabes from Beyond the Grave. So this is a special reaction. This was not planned. This kind of came up on me as well as a surprise. For those who don't know, Frankenbabes Beyond the Grave is a new short film from creator Andrew Bowser. You might know Andrew Bowser more as Onyx the Fortuitous. That's right. He is the famous comedian and actor behind the character of Onyx the Fortuitous, both on YouTube and in his movie Onyx the Fortuitous and the Talisman of Souls, which we reacted to on the channel. So go check out that reaction if you haven't seen it. I've been following his content for years and years and years, and after he released Onyx the Fortuitous and the Talisman of Souls, a full-length feature movie, he wanted to do something more. And Frankenbabes from Beyond the Grave is a short film that really focuses on the practical effects and whatnot. And it was just put up on YouTube for free by Dead Meat. That's right, the same Dead Meat who does the kill count videos. They put out this because they helped fund it. And so after debuting in festivals and some stuff like that, they brought it here to YouTube for everybody to be able to watch. And so that's what we're going to be checking out today. Now, I don't know what this is really about, but it's been compared to a film I have not seen, but I, can extrapolate information about just from the title. It's been compared to and I guess inspired by the film Frankenhooker. And I can get enough information from that. Now, Andrew has said that when he made this, the intent was to kind of bring in that kind of old school feel with the over sexualized kind of vibe to it, but to have a more progressive, more modern message to it. And that's really exciting. Kind of blending those two sides of the coin together, allowing it to feel like a more modern take on that kind of thing, while once again also spreading a more positive message that works better for the modern day. I think that's a great idea. So I'm very excited to check this out. It's less than 15 minutes long, I think. So we don't have to worry too much about the length. And like I said, this kind of just snuck up on me. I was not expecting to do this today, but we're doing it just as a little bonus video, a little bonus reaction as a treat for y'all. So let us get into this and see what we have in store. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So yeah, the message and theming of this comes through pretty clear. I obviously do wish this was a little longer for a lot of reasons. But it was always meant to be this, short film. It was always meant to be super simple and basic and not have a huge amount to it. But what it did have was great. Some fun blood splatter, some fun gore, some fun physical effects and everything. Great design work with the Frankenbabes themselves. But let's talk about the theming behind it. So, obviously, the big theme of this short film is about women's autonomy. Like, without question, that is what this is about. It's very much on the nose. Um, but it specifically touches on women's autonomy when it comes to religion and traditional gender roles. Basically, the idea of like women living to serve men and be secondary to them. Women, um, basically having no self autonomy and just having to live up to this Christian ideal of servitude. And it's an idea that unfortunately still exists in our modern world. There's a lot of Christians who believe this way, and even Christian women who have been gaslit into believing this themselves. A lot of times they'll call themselves like trad wives and stuff. Trad, obviously short for traditional, and it's a concept that basically aligns with the idea of the wife being a stay-at-home mother whose jobs are to cook, to clean, to have children, and to serve the guy in every way, including sexually. Um, with the added concepts such as even the idea that a lot of these people hold the idea that women that wives specifically cannot be raped because by marrying a man they are basically giving their body over to him at his will, at his desired time. So it's the idea that she basically belongs to her man, and as such, he can't rape her because her body, her sexuality is his to control. Which is, 17 levels of fucked up. It is so aggressively evil as a concept. And obviously has no basis in reality. It's so fucked to think like that. Like the general traditional aspects of it all are one thing, but like when it gets to that like higher level, that more insane degree, that's where it starts to become like much bigger problem. But it is still a problem. You have to acknowledge this at those smaller levels too, because women and everyone is entitled to their autonomy. Like, we have a right, no matter what gender we are, to have bodily and just general autonomy over ourselves at all times. And that means that we control our lives, we control our choices, we choose to do what we will do with who we are. And it can be for good or bad. Like, yeah, sometimes that will lead to some negative things. Sometimes we'll have issues with that. But we always deserve just automatically the right to that autonomy. And again, this goes for everyone. For men, women, NBs, does not matter. You could be gender fluid, you can be bigender, you can be third gender. Does not matter. You are automatically deserving of autonomy. You don't have to do anything to get that. Unfortunately, like I said, there are still people who believe otherwise, and regretfully, lead women, a lot of women especially, because this is inordinately targeted towards women, or at least femme presenting individuals. People who are assigned female at birth. How about that? Um, it is inordinately targeted towards them, and it's fucked. It's just not okay. But luckily and thankfully, most of our society at this point has progressed to understand that. We obviously know by now that it's not okay. And again, there's always going to be detractors. There's always going to be people who are against autonomy. And it's always going to be a thing. I also like that this touched briefly on queerness, and specifically the idea of like transness or being non-binary or something in that kind of realm. With the one Frankenbabe even saying, "I don't like even know if I'm a woman," or whatever the line was exactly. So it's kind of also playing on the idea of autonomy through gender expression and identity. These are also things that are, very important for autonomy as well. It's not just all about sex. A lot of times that comes down to people being able to, again, identify as and express their gender through the way they dress, through the way they present themselves with makeup or not, and various other manners as well. And as someone who is myself trans, female, and non binary, it's like, yeah, that obviously is something that speaks to me very specifically in that regard. So I really like what this short film was doing in terms of that kind of stuff. Like I said, though, I also really like the designs of the Frankenbabes. Like, they were not like just super stereotypical. Though you did have a little bit of the stereotype in there, a little bit of that idea. They all had very unique designs, all of them like really standing out. With, obviously different wigs, different outfits, and whatnot. Um, One of them like had these like metal pasties over her breasts. Others were wearing like bras and stuff. And it's just like these different designs and outfits allow them to, again, stand apart, allows them to feel like their own people instead of just living up to a certain mold. And I think that even just something as much as the outfits there are important to the messaging. The autonomy messaging can absolutely be represented through clothing choices. And so I think they did a great job with this. Um, for as short and simple as it was, the writing and everything was well done. I felt like it was cheesy and corny, but like in the right way at the right moments, because it's clearly supposed to be kind of a spoof on a lot of like classic horror stuff, on a lot of like the almost exploitation like kind of horror. I feel, but it's one of those where it's like the message kind of outweighs the silliness of the sexuality and how it's done. Because it's like, yeah, it's obviously very sexual, but it's a joke that it's very sexual. I mean, like, what was it called? Dommy Mommy Con? It's like, come on. Like, that's just a joke. That's just a pure joke. And that's the intent. It's supposed to be so over the top, it's silly. Um, it's not meant to be seen as like a super serious thing. And so the tone of this, like just getting right off the bat with that news broadcast, is like really smart. It also gives us information right off the bat about this bus crash, which we later find out was orchestrated by these two, this pastor and scientist duo. which is a funny idea in the first place because there's so much of like Christianity that is like so anti-science, and so it's like the idea of a scientist and a Christian pastor working together for the goal of making subservient Franken women is just a hilarious concept. It's so stupid, but that's the joke. It's so fucking dumb that it's actually kind of really funny. And so I really enjoyed that cuz that's kind of Andrew Bowser's entire like humor. Like whether it was back from when he was doing the Onyx shorts and skits on YouTube or even the full-length Onyx the Fortuitous and Talisman of Souls. It's like the goofy, over the top, satirical, and just stupid humor is absolutely his bag. And he's good at it, clearly. Like his Onyx shorts on YouTube are always fantastic, whether it's like Weird Arby's guy or the convention one where he went to the convention and all. Um, those were always just so damn good because they're so fucking dumb. And then again, I really loved Onyx the Fortuitous and Talisman of Souls. It was a absolute love letter to classic horror films, even getting like some pretty notable names in it. And I really feel like he just understands not only horror but comedy really well. He's he's a great writer, great director, great comedian, and I can't wait to see what more he has in store for the future. I definitely hope to react to more of his content. Yeah, I think that there's a good future for Andrew Bowser's works, and I can't wait to see what comes next. In the meantime, tell me in the comments below, what did you think of Frankenbabes from Beyond the Grave? Did you enjoy it as much as I did? What did you think of how the theming was handled? Let me know down below. And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.